What's up, everybody? Nick here. Hey, look, it is Archangel Week here in Toronto, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you behind the scenes of 3 days of jam-packed, action-packed stuff that's going on right here as we speak. You're gonna see behind the scenes. We're gonna try and pull some people aside and have some conversations to provide you a lot of value on how you can up-level your game personally and through business. So watch this episode of Netting Up.
Here. All right, brother. Nice to meet you, man. Thank you very much. Good luck. Absolutely. Thank you. Here we go.
Hi, brother. How are you? Good. Awesome. I watch your videos. Great job.
He's the guy behind them. I know. We're kind of like not even backstage in the hallways. I'm surprised my friend Jim is not getting smashed by everybody. They don't know he's out here. But guys, Jim Kwik, like #1, like memory, brain performance dude, literally in the world. So I thought before he kind of takes off, if there was one thing that you could tell an entrepreneur about optimizing brain and functionality and performance, and they only had a little bit of time with you, what might you tell me?
Okay, well, I would say this, that if knowledge is power, and learning is your superpower. As an entrepreneur, in order for our business to grow, you need to grow. The challenge is people go to events like this, or they listen to podcasts, online courses, and coaches, but knowledge it really isn't power. It's only potential power. Like, all those things won't work unless you work it. And I really feel like nowadays entrepreneurs, you know, when we're going through social media, it's nice to say things, but it's better to show, right? It's nice to promise, but it's better to prove. And so my advice for you as an entrepreneur is, as you're learning new things through these podcasts, through this show, through your events and so on, books that you read, ask yourself one question. How can I apply this? How can I apply this? You have these dominant questions that you obsess about, but really nothing happens unless you happen to it. And so I would say do the work, because I think there's this big lie. People feel like they buy books and it sits on your shelf and it becomes shelf help and not self-help. You don't get any points for that, right? And the other thing I would say is really drown out the noise. There's so many people around us, whether it's our family or friends, and we give them the power to hold us back in some way. They could be sincere, but they could be sincerely wrong, right? They don't want to lose you, maybe because you're making progress or growth, or maybe they don't want you to be hurt. So they could come from a good place, but ultimately you can't buy in. You could literally go broke buying into the other people's opinions and expectations of yourself. So you do you, always be learning. Little things consistently add up to big things. So do the work, be kind to other people, and the results will show up.
Guys, you heard it from Jim Kwik himself. Great seeing you.
Thank you, man.
What's up, everybody? Here we're backstage again in Archangel Academy, Archangel Summit, here with the host himself, JP Sears. Obviously got a ton of direction for entrepreneurs, but for someone who might have 30 seconds with you, and I said this is the only 30 seconds I'm going to have with you, what advice might you give that person to see how they might be able to either accelerate their life and or their business?
Yeah, well, because I'm a rule breaker, I'll give you two pieces of advice. The first piece is abstract, get to the practical in a second. But the first abstract piece would be your unapologetic weird self. I think really your authenticity, which is uncovered through your weirdness, it's one of the greatest gifts you can bring to the world. It's interesting, and that's what magnetizes people to you. Getting more practical, video has been powerful for me. That's not a surprise to anybody. We know how powerful video is. But to make your videos more powerful, more shareable, and maybe even a little bit more viral, there's three things that I think really create the potential for virality and shareability in videos, which would be, first off, entertainment, whether it's humor or whatever your version of entertainment is. Second is inspiration. If you can inspire people, now they're going to be feeling emotion. They're gonna kind of blame you for that, which is kind of like good in this case. And then the third thing is what I would call self-awareness. If people can learn something about themselves they didn't know through your video, they will enjoy having you as a mirror in their life. So for me, those three pillars of entertainment, inspiration, and awareness in videos are very powerful.
Yeah, that's huge. So again, like we always say, it's one thing to learn it from the people who are actually doing it. It's a completely other thing to actually go out and do it. So go ahead, start your videos, apply what he's saying, and we'll see the results. Thanks, JP.
You're welcome.
I'll end the hug.
Yeah, a little tighter over here.
Ready for work.
Separating the hair. Put the hair, yeah. Gio, think of a superhero pose that you think would be epic on the poster. Yeah, you got it. There you go. Oh, that's a profile.
You gotta grow.
It's really strong.
Hey everybody, Nick here. Hey, look, again at the Archangel Summit, managed to pull my friend aside, Sally Hogshead, 2 times New York Times best-selling author. Literally interviewed and studied over 1 million people to come up with what she's come up with, which we'll talk about in just a second. And at 25 years old, was like ranked U.S. top copywriter. I mean, just a lot of amazing things, but superpower really is to help you find out what makes you fascinating and how that affects you as an individual and as a business owner. So Sally, we got people watching, and they may never meet you in person, but let's pretend this is it.
Yeah.
And they have, you know, a minute with the Sally Hogshead, and they said, hey, like, what about your work can transform how I can approach life and business?
Yes.
What might you tell that individual?
The single greatest way to grow your business is to understand how does that person on the other side of the table see you at your best. Specifically, how can you add maximum value to that person? And I did a study of the 1 million people that I've measured, the professionals. We took 100,000 of the high performers, and we wanted to identify what are those high performers doing differently. I thought it was going to be related to experience or education or salary. And it wasn't that at all. The two things were, number one, they deliver a specific benefit. So the detail-oriented people only focus exclusively on going deep in that area. Second thing was that they take that benefit and they turn it into a specialty. So they only work with clients that come to them for that benefit that they're providing. So that way, they know they can always over-deliver. And you and I were talking, and I said, well, you know what would be really cool is to give them an invitation to be able to find out how does the world see you at your best. I created an assessment named the Fascination Advantage.
Which is amazing, by the way, but yes.
Thank you. When you took it, you were the blue chip. The blue chip, that means you very high standards, but consistently high standards. You don't waver on that. So here's how to do it. howtofascinate.com/you, Y-O-U. How to fascinate.com/you. Then comes the fun part. Here's a code. And the code you're going to type in to do it for free, netting up.
Yep.
NETTING up UP, all one word. So how to fascinate.com/you. The code is netting up. And then you'll take the assessment. It's 28 questions, 3 minutes, and then I'll show you how does that client or audience see you at your best. So then it becomes really easy to over deliver, so that you know. For you, for example, it's consistently high standards with exceptional delivery. Oh, listen, we have friends. Honey, we gotta go.
Yeah. No, but that's it. Because that normally costs some money.
It's normally $55.
$55. It's a gift to you. But here's, again, the takeaway that we always say. You're going to take the test, the assessment. You're going to get results. Sally, through some videos, is going to tell you all about how that and how that translates for you. And then most importantly, again, don't just be like, oh, I found out something great about myself. Now you can like reposition what you do, how you do it, and focus on those things so that you can shine your brightest light and again make the difference that you're hoping to make. So Sally, thank you.
On purpose.
On purpose for that gift. I appreciate you. You can read all about her, find her all about that in the links below. We appreciate you. Talk soon.
Sweet.
Not yet. This is just backstage just to get some B-roll stuff. This is backstage. Just trust me, it looks really cool with all the stuff here. Oh, you gotta get my man here. Giovanni Marsico, founder, the man, the guy behind this whole thing. This is the guy behind the whole thing. We're morning of day 3, Archangel Week here in Toronto. Today's show day. Today's the day that you are gonna see some behind the scenes of what really happens with this man.
Oh,
how you feeling, brother?
I'm awesome.
He's always calm before the storm. No worries ever. But this is the guy who makes this thing possible. Giovanni, if you're not here, you gotta be here next year. I don't know what you're doing.
Well, once you see this video of what you're about to see, yeah, you'll come next year.
We'll see you next year. The illustrious halls of the backstages of all these shows. The stuff that no one ever gets to see. The plates. It's always kitchens, weirdly enough. Backstage, it's always kitchens. Then you make your way to find the actual big stage, which you're going to see in just a second. But this is the glorious life of a speaker. This is what you get to see and experience all the time. So creepy. Change the world.